Thank you, Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Deputy Prime Ministers, Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Ministers, Honourable Members of Parliament, and to everyone listening throughout Fiji. Sambula Vinaka, Honourable Speaker, first and foremost, I give all praise, honour, and glory to Almighty God for His guidance, protection, and abundant blessings. So allow me to first congratulate and thank Taniela Rainimbongi and Jasmine Danokamakama for winning gold and bronze medals, respectively, in the 23rd Commonwealth Games. You have made us proud. To all the finalists in the Fiji Secondary Schools rugby competition, congratulations, and may the best team win. I rise to inform this August House of the successful conclusion of the week-long National Youth Development Programme held in the Highlands of Navosa from the 10th to 14th August 2026. The programme brought together 5 key initiatives. 1, youth empowerment and livelihood skills training. 2, the national celebration of International Youth Day. 3rd, the Government Services Roadshow. 4th, Navosa Youth and Sports Festival, and the official launch of the Road to Serbia, Fiji's journey towards Expo 2027, Belgrade. Honourable Speaker, this was far more than a week of celebration. It was a practical demonstration of what inclusive national development can achieve when government, communities, and partners work together. The programme brought together youth empowerment, government outreach, cultural preservation, sporting participation, and national mobilization. It brought essential services closer to rural communities, equipped young women with practical livelihood skills, celebrated Navosa's unique cultural identity, and connected young people to opportunities at both national and international levels. Why Navosa? Honourable Speaker, the decision to bring this national programme to Navosa was deliberate and significant. For the people of Navosa, this was more than another government programme. It represented the return of a major youth, sports, cultural and community development event to the Highlands after a 44-year interval. The programme recorded 1,010 attendees on the first day and 1,235 attendees on the second day. There were 80 kina that participated. Kina of Namataku, Watusila, Nandrau, Nekoro, Korinasau, Bemana, Angolimare, and Nasikawa. These figures demonstrate why decentralizing national programs matters. Communities located far from our urban centres should not have to wait another generation to experience meaningful government engagement or access national opportunities. Young people in highland communities often face significant geographical and financial barriers when accessing government services, training, employment, information, and business support. Their circumstances may differ from those of young people in Suva, Lautoka, and other urban centres, but their aspirations are fundamentally the same. They want education, they want employment, they want opportunities to establish businesses and build sustainable livelihoods. They want safe and healthy communities. They want to participate meaningfully in national development. And they want their cultural identity to be respected and preserved. This is reflected in the 2026 International Youth Day theme. I quote, different contexts, common aspirations, unquote. By bringing the national celebration to Navosa, our government sent a clear message. The young people of our highlands are not on the margins of Fiji's development story. They are an essential part of it. Empowering young women through practical skills. Honourable Speaker, the week commenced at the Nassau Youth Training Centre with livelihood and economic empowerment training, with particular emphasis on young women and girls from Navosa. Practical training was provided in soap making and tie-and-dye with 50 young women, girls successfully completing the programs. These activities were not designed simply to produce certificates, They were selected because they can provide practical pathways to household production, income generation, and micro-enterprise development. With appropriate mentoring, access to finance, product development, support, and market linkages, these skills can contribute to greater economic independence, stronger household incomes, and improved community well-being. The Ministry will therefore follow up with the graduates and work with relevant partners to identify opportunities for advisory support, mentoring, financing, and market access. Because, Honourable Speaker, the true measure of success is not the number of certificates presented. The true measure of success is what happens after those certificates are received. It is whether these young women are able to apply their skills, generate income, and build sustainable livelihoods. The International Youth Day and Government Services Roadshow. Honourable Speaker, the International Youth Day celebration was accompanied by Government Services Roadshow at Watu Remba Grounds in Watu Mali, Navosar. The roadshow brought together government ministries, public institutions, training providers, business support agencies, and other service organizations, taking their services directly to the people. For residents of highland communities, accessing government services can require lengthy and costly journeys. By bringing agencies together in one location, our young people and families were able to obtain information, explore available programs, raise concerns, and receive appropriate referrals without traveling long distances. The Ministry will consolidate the final roadshow information, including services delivered, people assisted, registrations completed, and referrals requiring further action. But, Honourable Speaker, let me emphasize one important principle. An outreach program does not end when the booths are dismantled. Issues raised by communities must be recorded. Referrals must be followed up. Commitments must be monitored. Access must be followed by action, and consultation must be followed by accountability. In culture, identity, and community recognition, Honourable Speaker, the Navosa program also demonstrated that young youth development and cultural identity must advance together. The program featured oratory in the distinct dialects of Navosa and traditional Meki. These activities provided young people from across the province with an opportunity to celebrate the traditions that give their communities identity, pride, and strength. Culture connects generations. It carries knowledge, values, traditions, and responsibilities from our elders to our children. It can also create opportunities in creativity, tourism, music, performance, and enterprise. When young people speak their dialects, perform traditional Meki, and learn from their elders, they are not simply looking backwards, they are carrying forward knowledge that can strengthen Fiji's future. The program also recognized achievements in farming, entrepreneurship, livestock development, community health, and crime prevention. Such recognition is important because national development is not achieved only in government offices or urban centres. It is also achieved by young farmers, rural entrepreneurs, community leaders, and ordinary citizens who work every day to improve the well-being of their families and communities. On sports infrastructure and positive youth engagement, Honourable Speaker, the Navosa Youth and Sports Festival featured men's and women's rugby sevens, netball, and amateur boxing, together with musical and social activities involving the National Youth Band. Sport is far more than competition. It promotes physical and mental well-being while developing discipline, teamwork, resilience, leadership, and respect. It strengthens community cohesion, supports talent identification, and provides positive alternatives to drugs, crime, and other harmful behaviors. One of the most significant lasting components of the program was the handover of the gym equipment to Navosa Central College and the Navosa Rugby Union. Prior to this assistance, neither recipient had access to this type of training equipment. The students and community athletes had enthusiasm, determination, and natural talent, but lacked some of the basic resources required for structured strength and conditioning programs. The handover was therefore not simply a delivery of equipment. It was an investment in the health, development, and sporting potential of Navosa's young people. The equipment will support physical education and sporting programs at Navosa Central College and assist the Navosa Rugby Union in strengthening player preparation and conditioning. In the same program, boxing was returned to the highlands of Navosa after a 44-year absence. It was last held in the province in 1982, a revival of a proud sporting tradition that has been part of Navosa's history. A community member, Mr. Chone Aravoro, said that after 44 years, the sound of the bell is being heard once again, bringing excitement, courage, and determination to the people of Navosa. For our young people, it was an opportunity to step into the ring, discover their talent, build confidence, and more importantly, believe that they too can pursue their dreams through sport. The ministry handed over boxing equipments to the newly established boxing clubs. Honourable Speaker, talent exists throughout Fiji. However, access to sporting infrastructure and development opportunities are not equally distributed. If we are serious about building a stronger sporting nation, we must address this disparity and ensure that rural athletes have a fair opportunity to develop their abilities and compete at high levels. The program also created opportunities for women and girls to participate in rugby, netball, livelihood training, and community activities. Gender inclusion must remain at the heart of our youth and sports development agenda. The ministry will continue working with sporting organizations, coaches, Navosa Central College, and the Navosa Rugby Union to identify development pathways for promising athletes. The gym and boxing equipment will remain in the community as a tangible legacy of this program, a practical resource that can continue to benefit young people long after the festival has ended. Launching Fiji's Road to Sebia. Honourable Speaker, another defining moment of the week was the official launch of the Road to Sebia, Expo 2027 Belgrade. It will be held from the 15th of May to 15th of August 2027 under the theme, quote, Play for Humanity, Sport and Music for All, unquote. Fiji's pavilion theme is Bula Spirit, Play, Connect, Thrive. This theme reflects our hospitality, creativity, sporting ability, cultural diversity, resilience, and capacity to build meaningful relationships across borders. Fiji's participation in the Expo 2027 must not be viewed simply as an overseas event. It is a national development journey, and that journey begins in our communities. The Road to Sebia will provide opportunities to showcase Fiji's young people, culture, sport, music, innovation, tourism, investment potential, climate resilience, and entrepreneurship. It can strengthen international friendship, sports diplomacy, cultural exchange, and commercial partnerships. Launching this journey from Navosa carried a powerful message. Fiji's international representation must include the voices, talents, and stories of our rural, maritime, and highland communities. A young person from Navosa, and indeed from any part of Fiji, must be able to see a place for themselves in this national journey. The Road to Sebia must therefore do more than represent Fiji abroad. It must connect our communities to meaningful opportunities at home. Honourable Speaker, I have shared in this August House what can happen when a festival becomes a catalyst for sustained community action. However, we must also recognise that complex social challenges cannot be resolved by one event alone. Sustainable social improvement requires the continued commitment of families, traditional and faith-based leaders, law enforcement agencies, schools, youth organizations, sporting bodies, and young people themselves. The NAVOSA program forms part of an evolving ministry model developed through previous festivals and outreach programs in Kandavu, Boa, Takondrawe, Netasiri, Ba, and Rotuma. This model brings government and partner services directly to young people. It listens to local priorities. It integrates skills development with culture and sport. It recognizes community leadership and establishes pathway for follow-up support. They are platforms for consultation, service delivery, community mobilization, skills development, cultural preservation, and talent identification. The experiences of different provinces and communities have demonstrated that although local circumstances differ, the aspirations of Fiji's young people remain remarkably connected. The success of a youth festival should not be measured only by attendance, applause, or number of activities completed. It should ultimately be measured by the lasting changes it helps communities achieve. For this reason, it will be important to monitor the impact of the NAVOSA Youth Festival over the coming months and years. The NAVOSA program directly supports the objectives of Fiji's National Youth Policy 2023-2027, which recognizes young people as partners in national development. The different components of the program translated the policy's priorities and practical action. Skills training supported economic empowerment. The government services roadshow improves access to essential services. Cultural activities strengthen identity and belonging. Sport promoted well-being, discipline, and social cohesion. Community recognition encouraged leadership and positive contribution. The road to Serbia connected local participation with an international opportunity. This integrated approach recognizes a fundamental reality. No single ministry, organization, or program can address all the challenges facing young people. Effective youth development requires coordinated action by government, communities, families, civil society, development partners, businesses, sporting organizations, and most importantly, young people themselves. Honourable Speaker, I acknowledge the traditional leaders and people of NAVOSA for welcoming this national program into their communities. I thank the Nandronga NAVOSA Provincial Administration, the Vanua o Utukia, Vanua o Nambua Vatu, Vanua o Namataku, Vanua Koro, and the Vanua Talanrau. The NAVOSA Youth Council, community leaders, young women, athletes, performers, and volunteers contributed to the success of the week. I also acknowledge the government ministries, statutory bodies, training providers, development partners, civil society organizations, business support agencies, and sporting bodies that supported the program. Special appreciation goes to the security, health, transport, and logistical teams, the National Youth Band, our ministry officials, and all those who work behind the scenes to ensure that the program was successfully delivered. Most importantly, I thank the young people of NAVOSA. In conclusion, sir, the message from NAVOSA is simple but powerful. Different communities may face different circumstances, but Fiji's young people share common aspirations. They want to learn, they want to work, they want to create, they want to compete, they want to preserve their identity, and they want to contribute meaningfully to their country. Our responsibility is therefore not merely to speak about young people. Our responsibility is to work with them, invest in them, and create the pathways through which their potential can be realized. From the highlands of NAVOSA to Kandavu, Rotuma, and in every province of Fiji, we are building an approach that places young people at the center of national development. Honourable Speaker, As we travel together on the road to Serbia, let this journey